I don't know about you guys, but this year feels like it's going by so fast, and recently I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed and I've lost track of where I'm at. It's been a bit of a whirlwind year for me so far. I've been working and traveling a lot, and it's been pretty full on in both my work and my personal life. I've been out of my usual routines, but now I'm home for a while. I'm ready for a bit of a reset. I recently got a new journal which started in July, and the fresh blank pages have me thinking about celebrating my wins so far, whilst acknowledging where I have room for improvement when it comes to my work-life balance, habits, routines, fitness and well-being. Today I'm going to be reviewing what I've achieved so far and what's in store for me next. If you're new around here, my name is Brogan and I make all sorts of travel, home and lifestyle vlogs, so please hit subscribe and enjoy this chit chat with me. Hello everyone. As you would have just seen, I am going to be sharing my mid-year review with you today. I also have just had a very exciting delivery arrive, so we're going to be unboxing my brand new Apple Watch, showing you what this is like, and just having a little bit of a chit chat with you. It's a really hot day, so I'm wearing very minimal makeup. I'm in a nice, cool, loose, comfy play suit that I've had for a long time from New Look, and I've got the window open, so if you can hear noise then that's why. But I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to, then grab a little notebook. Maybe you can write your wins and share things that you've been up to. If you want to leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I think it's really nice to reflect on all the good things, but today I am going to focus on the good, but I don't want to shy away from the fact that there have been some bad. Like all things in life, yin and yang, good and bad, because that's what life is. So I'm aware that as a creator, I share a lot of the good, and I'm really proud to be very positive and share lots of lovely, entertaining, fun videos. But on the flip side, my life, like all things and like everyone's, has had a bit of a turbulent year as well. So what with Benji's heart condition that we've been dealing with and having lots of appointments for him, and then other family things. I had a death in the family that has literally shook me to my core through me and my brother and my family, so it's been really, really difficult. So I don't want to shy away from like pretending everything's hunky-dory, because it's not. However, I am leaning towards and working towards having more of a private life and keeping some things off the internet, so maybe just keep that in mind. I just thought I would say that before we begin, because it's really easy for me to sit here and tell you all the good things I've done, and there have been a lot of good things, and actually I think reflecting on all the good and having gratitude for what I have rather than what I don't have has literally changed my life. I've been writing in my gratitude journal, which I'll talk about in a minute, every single day, and it's all those little things for me, all those small habits that I put in place, all the little bits and bobs that I do that fill me with joy and bring me a lot of happiness. And I guess for me that is what life is about, and having balance and finding the good, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel, even when things feel really dark. I just want to send my love to any of you that maybe not be feeling tip-top right now. I hope that this video is a bit of a comfort for you. You can just stick me on the background, I can chit chat away, because I feel like YouTube is really quiet right now. There just seems to be not a lot of people uploading, and I don't know whether that's because people are watching, consuming and making short form content in the form of reels and TikToks, but for me I still really love these like longer videos where I can just where I can sit and chat to you. Good, we're off to a good start. Let's start with my Apple Watch. So I have been a Fitbit girl through and through. Benji actually bought me this Fitbit in 2018. I've had it for 4 years. I've worn it on my wrist pretty much every single day. If you look back at any videos or any Instagram posts where I'm wearing a smartwatch, it is this, my Fitbit. The actual Fitbit itself is still working, and it has lasted me so long, but I'm at that point now where out with the old, in with the new. I've wanted an Apple Watch for a really long time, and so it was actually Amazon Prime Day, and I treated myself while it was on a bit of a discount. So I got myself an Apple Watch. I went for the SE, and at the moment I guess the difference is between the SE and the 7. I just felt like the Series 7 was slightly bigger and had a couple of extra features that I just didn't feel I needed personally. I didn't get the cellular one either. Why was that hard for me to say? Cellular. It's the gold aluminium case SE Starlight Sport Band, and I have also bought a leather strap for myself as well, which is in my office. So I'll leave a link to my one below, but I'm really excited about it, and so I thought we could do an unboxing. Why is this so satisfying? So satisfying. Right, let's peel it off. I thought I'd include this in this video because I feel like when I get new tech and new gadgets and things like this, they inspire me and motivate me, and I want to like do more. We've got the watch itself and the strap, so let's open up the watch. Apple products are just so lovely, aren't they? Look at this, beautiful. Okay, and then we have the actual watch in here. Ooh, look at her, she's so pretty. So I went for the rose gold sort of colour. Hang on, let me come in closer. There we go, this colour, which in comparison to my Fitbit, you can see it's a very similar colour, like the pinky, and the Apple Watch is just a little bit thicker, but in terms of size, it's like the same size really. In fact, the Fitbit is slightly wider. That's the original Versa, and it's exactly the same height, so that's good because that's what I'm used to. But actually it's a little bit thinner, it's not as wide, so that's good. We have the charging lead, I guess. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so the charger is one of these. I don't know how long the battery lasts, but that's what it looks like. Oh. Okay, so it has the instructions that we need because this is the first time I'm setting up an Apple Watch, and that's what it looks like inside. So I guess, is this a slightly longer? Oh, that's small to medium, this is medium to large. Okay, I'm gonna go medium to large because I think I've got quite big wrists. So to attach the band, slide until you hear a click. I actually think the colour of the rubber band is more grey than cream. In the pictures it looked more cream. Okay, I got myself all flustered because I couldn't work out how to remove the straps, but there are little buttons on the back after a little bit of a research. So I just want to see how it feels because it does say low battery on it. It feels really, really comfortable. It's not too heavy and it's just a really nice size on my wrist. Okay, I have paired my Apple Watch. Oh, hopefully we don't need it on charge anymore. So I'm gonna say set up watch. Yeah, I don't love this strap, I'm not gonna lie, but that's fine because we can change the straps, no problem. I just wanted to show you guys that I realised I put it on wrong in the video, and I have actually got it tucked neatly in now, the strap, but yeah, I did it wrong the first time. I really do love the size of it though, it looks really nice. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's like a rose gold. Okay, so I've been setting up my move goals. It asked me how many minutes I want to stand, how many minutes exercise, how many calories I want to burn, which was a bit of a weird one because I don't really know how to answer that. But I can also add Apple Pay, which is genius. So now I have set her up. It's given me instructions on what I can learn and how I best can use the watch, but it's doing like a little syncy thing at the moment, and I can add some of my apps onto it, like Spotify and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to spend the afternoon playing with this, but I'm so happy. Yay. I've put the watch on charge. It's actually in front of me, plugged into my laptop, because I haven't quite figured out what the adapter is because it's not USB, so we need to do a bit of research on that. But I am very excited. So I'm going to talk to you now about some of my wins, things I've achieved so far this year that I'm really proud of, that I wanted to share with you. So far in 2022, my videos have almost had 2 million views, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I've gained 8,000 new subscribers, so thank you so much. If you're new, I think this is my 40th video this year, which is absolutely insane. Like, I can't believe I've done that many videos in the first 6.5 months of the year, so that's really, really cool. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, also, speaking of my YouTube channel, as I'm filming today, I'm almost at 90,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure I would have already passed it by now. So thank you so much for subscribing. I am on the road to that 100,000. We still need another 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of doable before the end of this year. Maybe, it might not be, but thank you for subscribing because each and every one of you counts. And I'm just so grateful. Like, how cool is that 100,000? Really, really cool. Another win work-wise is that I've been working on some really big campaigns, some of my biggest ones to date. I've been working with Visit England. I went on the Disney press trip. I did Tenerife and Norway with P&O Cruises, so we'll talk about travel in a minute. I've also worked with some of my favourite brands like Wild and Readly and Desenio that I love to be able to share discount codes for you. So I've really loved working with so many brand partners this year, and I hope hope to work with more. And I got invited to a Virgin Atlantic event this week as I'm filming, which was great to see them and see their new plane. And oh my gosh, I just feel like, how lucky am I that I get to do this job and do these fun things. So that leads me nicely onto travel, because I've been able to travel a lot as well through work. So this one blended a little bit into personal and work, but I've had 2 personal holidays. We did Dubai in February and we did Disneyland Paris. And then for work, I did Tenerife and Norway with P&O Cruises and Florida, Walt Disney World with Disney. So I truly am so grateful. Like, I honestly could cry with how happy I feel. I cannot believe I've been able to travel this much. If I could go back and tell 17-year-old me when I started my channel that this was the life I was going to have, I would never have believed you. Like, I just feel how incredible that I get to travel and do this sort of thing for my job. Traveling a lot has meant that I've been totally out of my routines, which is what I talked about earlier, and I definitely recognise that too much travel can also be a lot on me, but I am grateful. I'm so grateful. So yeah, we've had 5 different countries, but I've also done the Cornwall trip with Benj. We did the Cotswolds at the end of December, beginning of January. I've also done a lot of London trips, and I actually have a London vlog coming for you next. So if you love the more vlog style videos, then I'm going to have a nice London vlog for you in the next video, which is also sponsored by one of my favourite brands. Another big work win for me is that I redesigned my blog. I actually had it moved over from blogger.com over to WordPress, and I redesigned the logo myself and picked the colours, and I worked with an amazing graphic designer called Holly, and she moved it over for me and everything. So it was really great to work with her, and now I have a proper website that looks much more polished, but you'll see I'm talking about it later in the video for my goals. I haven't been adding to it too much, so I'm really proud that it's up and it's done. It was one of those things I had in the back of my mind that I wanted to do for ages, and now it's live and it's a proper website that I'm really chuffed with. So that was a good work win. And the last work win that I wrote down was that I have submitted and paid off my tax, and I've been on top of my tax returns and dealing with all the tax and boring VAT stuff, all of that in the background of running a business. It's funny because I went to a friend's birthday party at the weekend, and I was talking about my job, and I constantly have to remind people that don't make videos or understand what it takes to be a content creator that I run all of this myself with a little help from my friends and family, and I have a business coach, but everything you see is me. I don't have any management, I don't have people or a team, so I am the photographer, the filmmaker, the editor, the accountant, the admin assistant, the social media manager. I do so many jobs to keep everything afloat, and I'm just really proud of that. But particularly the taxes and expenses and VAT and receipts and organising filing and everything is something that I used to fall behind on, and I'm on top of it right now, and that is a big win for me. Next, I've got my personal wins. I do have some in home that are more Benji and I related, but just me personally, I've been writing in my gratitude journal. Like I said, it's an app called the 5-Minute Journal. I have been loving it. I'm on day 420 something. So well over a year now of writing in it daily, morning and night. I've never missed a day, and sometimes I wake up the next morning and complete it for the day before, but I've never forgotten, and it's become such a big habit and part of my routine. And some days I write just 1-word answers, but other times I'm a lot more detailed, and it's amazing all the things that come to mind that I'm grateful for in the morning, and then at the end of the day reviewing what went well and how I can improve. Like, it's just reflecting like that has been hugely beneficial for me personally, and like I said, just being grateful for what I already have, and it's changed my life, like genuinely changed my life. And I really encourage you to do the same, even if you just write in your notes or you write in a diary, whatever works for you. But I particularly love this app, so I'll leave it linked below. But it's 5-Minute Journal. I'm pretty sure they have a free version, but I do pay for it. I think it's like £24 for the year or something, but obviously well worth it for me. I've made some new friends so far this year. I've really found myself trying to make new friends. However, I have found that I'm at that point, which is going to sound mad, but like, I have a lot of people communicating with me now. I have lots of lovely friends. Friendships is one of those things I try and invest a lot of time and energy into, because friends for me are kind of like chosen family. Some of them I rely on so heavily, and I value them so much. And yeah, some of my friends I speak to more than others, and I just love that I've made some new friends this year. My last personal win is that I've seen a lot of theatre shows and I've had a lot more joy this year. It's easy for a lot of us to forget that this time last year not everything was back, not everything was normal, you know, and I just recognise how amazing it is that I can go and support theatre, and I've been really enjoying going to shows. They make me happy, plus the cinema and seeing friends and going out for meals and all those small things I get to do, I just really love. So yeah, having a lot more joy was something I wrote down as a big win for my personal life. Moving into health, I thought I'd break this out because I don't really generally talk too heavily about my health and my fitness and my journey with that, and honestly I'm quite happy just sort of sharing bits and bobs with you on Instagram and a bit here. But I've just celebrated 1 year at David Lloyd, my favourite gym. I joined there a long time ago and left, and then I rejoined in June last year, and I've been going for a whole year. So I'm not always very consistent, but it's not about that. I'm mostly just enjoying going when I do go. I used to absolutely resent the gym and not enjoy going in the doors, and to come so far to actually actively want to go to the gym is a big win for me. I can do yoga there and swim there and eat there and work from there and obviously do my workouts, and so I'm really proud of myself for sticking with it. So 1 year at David Lloyd. Love you, David Lloyd. I have been working with a PT over the last year. I actually started working with him in August last year to build confidence in the gym. I basically needed someone to hold my hand, and I didn't want that to be Benj. I wanted a professional that could help me, especially as I'd spent a lot of time in the chiropractor, having my back looked at. I didn't want to injure myself, and I wanted to learn how to use the equipment properly. So we did set some goals here and there that I've met and then not, and I've kind of tried to find my feet with it, like what do I need a PT for? But a lot of it was confidence building. So I was doing weekly sessions, then fortnightly, and then whilst I've been traveling I've been bringing that down. But I'm actually now transitioning to doing it all myself in the gym. So I use an app called Knobs, which was designed by Lucy Mountain, and she is amazing. You should follow her on Instagram, she's just a gem. She's created an amazing community, Knobs community, that I'm in on Facebook, and the app is amazing. I pay, I think it's $11.99 a month from memory, and it's an app that basically guides you and it provides you with a full workout plan, so I never have to think about what I'm going to do next or how to use each machine if I haven't used it before with my PT, although obviously if I see my PT in there he's more than happy to help me, and Benj will help me as well. He's been amazing to have him around to be able to spot me check I'm doing it okay. But yeah, I think for me, not only building, I think I'm just trying to recognize the journey I've been on in finding somewhere I love, going there regularly, then actually being on the gym floor, and now being on the gym floor on my own. I feel like I've really transitioned, but it's taken me over a year to get to a point that I can walk into a gym, put my app on, put my headphones in, do my workout, and feel really proud of myself and feel like I've actually got a good workout in. At the moment, I'm still a little bit unsure on what I should be working. So I'm doing a lot of full body stuff, and then I've been mixing with some cardio, a bit of swim. Like I've just been trying to do whatever works for me and listening to my body and trying to figure it out. So the next steps would be to have more of a plan, but right now I'm just happy exercising when I can and when I want to. And then my home wins is I obviously got engaged to Benji, which was an incredible win. Like what an amazing thing to have happened. I still feel like I'm in a little bubble. We still have people congratulating us when we see people at events or like we haven't seen for a long time. I very much am living in this lovely moment of my life. So yeah, getting engaged was just massive, and it was magic, and it was a crazy whirlwind month, what with finding out about Benj and his heart condition, and then being able to still go on the trip and it happening, and we did it so unconventionally. If you want to see our video all about that, then you can. But yeah, just really grateful. That was a huge part of this year. And then obviously that leads me nicely on to wedding planning. So we have been wedding planning. We have already shared a little bit here and there, but we are definitely getting married abroad, and we have definitely set a date in 2024. We're not sharing any more details just yet because we want to finalize them and have some privacy, and we're making decisions on what it looks like because logistically there's a lot of layers, but we're quite confident in our plans. watch this space. I also wrote down wins in our home life was just quality time together with Benji being around at home a lot more while he's in this transition sort of stage of his life. We've been able to spend lots of quality time together. We've been enjoying time in the garden, which I love. I actually put this photo on Instagram stories the other day and so many of you replied like, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Like, he was eating his breakfast, watching his show. I was reading a book with Bonnie in my lap. We were sat in the shade. It was nice and cool. It was just such a lovely morning and moment. And for me, those little things is a big win. And also having the garden and the garden furniture and enjoying that space. That was not something we were able to do last year because we didn't finish the garden until October 2021. So to be able to have this summer with this weather and have some space that we can sit out in and enjoy is just so lovely. Now let's talk about some goals for the rest of 2022. So it's lovely to reflect on all those things I've been able to achieve, but there's always room for improvement. So let's return back to the categories. I'm going to start with work. So I stopped tracking my monthly goals. I used to use Notion. I still use Notion, but in Notion I have a month, and then in each month I have different questions that I ask myself. So what went well? What brands did I work with? What did I learn from this month? A bit like how I do my gratitude journal every day, but work specific per month. And due to traveling, I haven't really been doing it because I've been working away a lot, and I've been having my monthly calls with my business coach, but I've not been setting time aside each month. So I'm going to make sure I do that and actually block out like at the end of the month or the beginning of the next month to look back and work out what went well and what didn't. So that's something I definitely want to continue doing or re-pick up with my work stuff. I got a new planner, as you would have seen in the intro. This is actually the simplified planner and it started in July. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like because I am obsessed. It is quite big, but I love it. So you can see the to-dos and the notes on either side. I have been absolutely loving filling in my diary again, putting stickers in, and it's been absolutely changing everything for me, like having it all written down again. It's one of those little habits that I got out of the routine of writing physically down and separating my days up because I've been traveling a lot and I didn't have a planner I loved. But now I have one and I'm back into writing in it. That's something that I really think will help keep me on track and help me delegate tasks for each day of the week so that I'm not trying to jam everything in one day and overwhelm myself. So that is a small thing, but a nice little goal to focus on. As I mentioned, I launched my new blog, but I haven't really been writing on it. My website, I have quite a few draft posts that I've been putting together, but I really haven't finished. I have so much respect for people that write articles because they take hours, especially putting together all the imagery and doing the SEO and having it all polished and nice and then having links in and things. It's a whole new area of work that I haven't really had time to dedicate towards. So something I would love to do. Personal goals, I'd like to go back to the cinema more. We have been doing this more recently, but I wrote it down as a little goal because the cinema brings me so much joy. It's pure escapism for me. We have unlimited cards and I love being able to go so regularly. My unlimited card was kindly gifted by Cineworld, but Benji pays for his, just as an FYI. Not sponsored, not been asked to talk about them, but I do love going to the cinema and it's something that I want to incorporate more into like date nights and yeah, seeing more films because it's actually really lovely to physically go to the cinema, support the cinemas, see the films, and yeah, it's just great. So I want to do that more. And I also have been reading more and I hit my 2022 reading goal in July. So 7 months to read 5 books, which doesn't sound a lot. And I think when you do reading goals, I see so many people read like 30, 50 or 100 books in a year that I feel pressured myself to try and keep up and do a goal like that. But that's just not realistic for me. And I've only just started getting back into reading. So I've read 3 Beth O'Leary books, 1 Laura Jane Williams and 1 Giovanna Fletcher. And I'm now on a book called Book Lovers. I'm really loving dedicating and finding time for reading, but that's going to be another little goal for me, is to just read more and have it into my routine. So with that, reading more, that leads me nicely onto another little goal I'd like to do, which is have a bit more of a bedtime routine, and reading is something I'd like to put into that bedtime routine. So trying to get into bed a bit earlier, winding down, doing my skincare, you know, having that routine. I feel like I've lost that a little bit, which is probably why I have been feeling this sense of like I've been everywhere, here, there and everywhere, and I haven't really had time for myself. And those little moments in my day make like, they mean a lot. It's like important, isn't it? So I'd love to get into bed a bit early and go to bed a bit early and focus on my sleep. I've been getting up early, like waking up at 6:30, 7 every day and walking Bonnie while it's cool. But again, my morning routine and my evening routine have been a bit off. So I'm going to focus on that. And if you would like, once I feel like I'm in a good place, I can do a video for you, maybe a morning and evening routine video. Bit old school, but I feel like that could be fun. So that's something I'm going to work on. And I also have a couple of savings goals as well. I've been traveling a lot and I haven't been focusing on putting some money aside into my savings pots and funds, and I had a big tax bill, so there have been other things. I had to have some dental work done as well. So yeah, I have had some expenses come out, bought an Apple Watch and other things, but I would like to save, because one of the other goals I have in the home section actually is to get a new car with Benj. So we might as well move on to home, because that's all my personal goals. Little savings goals, basically. I'm going to sit down and decide how much I want to save and when I want to save it by. Simple as that. So yeah, home, I would love to get a new car with Benj. We're looking at a hybrid sort of car, something that we can go on staycations with Bonnie and do like longer distance driving, because my car is a little Citroen C1 and I've had it for over 10 years. So I've had 3 different ones, but the same model. And as much as I love it, it's a very good runaround car. It's not great for sort of those long car journeys with a dog. So we're looking at something that we can both maybe share. So if you have any suggestions, don't want anything too big, because I'm so used to a little car, but obviously Benji's 6'3", so we need something that he can fit comfortably in as well. So yeah, something that's really comfy, really lovely, that suits us both. So then also another goal is, once we've sorted out the car, I'd love to do a staycation with Bonnie, maybe even locally actually, like just go somewhere that we haven't been in a long time, stay away for the night, the 3 of us, and yeah, just spend some time with Bonnie, because I feel like she has been with Benj a lot, and she's been with my mum while I've travelled here and there, but obviously I'm with her every day. But I feel like I love those trips we do. I feel like we make lots of memories, and so I would like to do some staycations again. My last home goal was just to spend some time with friends and family, making sure I'm scheduling in more time with people, evenings, weekends, barbecues, movies, whatever it is. I just want to see more people. I feel like I communicate a lot with people on WhatsApp. I have a lot of chats going, and I speak to my friend Gary on the phone pretty much every day, and I have a lot of voice memos with my girl groups and things, but I've not spent loads of time in person with my friends and family, so that's what I'd like to do. And then I've realised I didn't do the health section either, did I? Let me run you through my health goals. So I want to return to a regular fitness routine, so maybe I can dedicate the same day and time when I work out. Like, I love Mondays, for example, because I love getting it in the beginning of the week. It sets me up really well. So a certain time and day. Another goal I'm thinking about doing is actually writing when I'm going to work out in my diary, so having it physically written down or scheduled into my digital diary, so that I can work around it and make time for it. I think that'd be really good for me. I would quite like to try a new class, because I'm paying so much money and spending so much time at David Lloyd, but I haven't done many of their classes, so I wouldn't mind doing a new class. And the last one I had written down was just to try and track all of my workouts and utilize the Apple Watch. So I know they have rings to use, so I'm thinking of like trying to use my watch to its full advantages and move more, listen to my body, and do all the things that make me feel good. So they are my goals. They're my wins. That is everything I wanted to share with you. This has been a much longer video than I thought, but I really hope you've enjoyed listening to me chit chat. Like I said, I'd love to hear what your 3 wins are. I think this is such a lovely way to chat to you, but also give people some inspiration and ideas. Have you started a new hobby? Have you got any little life hacks you want to share? Things that are like nuggets of information or wisdom, put them below for me so I can read them and share them with others. And yeah, let me know if you have an Apple Watch too, and tell me all the things I need to know. Do I have like a Disney face? Do I get a Disney strap? Do I need to know any little tips? I want to hear them all, so let me know. And over the coming months, I'm probably going to focus on some of those videos that I've talked about, like routines, and maybe I can do like a one-off weekly vlog for you and just check in with you and share a bit more about me and my life and what is going well and what's not going so well. So yeah, thank you for watching and listening to this. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you again in my next ones.